If you've been around for the last few months, then you're likely aware of the memes, remixes, parodies, Discord servers, merchandise, pogs, rifles, nuclear warfare, all based on the one and only Revenge. Every corner you turn, you get bombarded with Creeper and oh man. There's no escaping it, man, trust me. And I should know, I've been there from the very beginning. I was 9 years old watching this for the first time, August 19th, 2011. I remember the day like it was yesterday. Probably playing Minecraft Beta 1.7, wishing there was a sprint button in Minecraft already, when all of a sudden I see Revenge and I just gotta check it out, man. So I sit there watching the thing in all of its 4-minute and 24-second glory. I was just thinking to myself, wow, I should make a video on this in 8 years, and here we are now. So as this grandiose meme slowly succumbs to the passage of time, I figured that before it begins to die a slow, painful death, I decided what better way to honour the work of CaptainSparklez, Bootstrap Buckaroo, and of course TryHardNinja by discussing what made Revenge stand out, because at the time, it was the only video of its kind. I'm gonna kick this off with visuals, because you come for the visuals and you stay for the world famous rapper, right? Okay. The extent of Minecraft animations before Revenge resorted to as basic as you could get. Real flat models, no facial expressions, or really any clever techniques to animate characters any further than what you'd get in-game. It was the Stone Age of the Wild West. If you wanted quality, the best you'd find would be something like In Search of Diamonds, which was a cool video, and it did utilize some kind of 3D engine, most likely Blender, to add a Minecraft guy over pre-recorded footage, which was cool, but nowhere near the production value of something like Revenge. After the success of TNT, you had a lot more people doing this, combining gameplay footage with 3D rendered animation to make something half as cool, which was a solid solution to making your music video look even the slightest bit distinct. And while none of these are particularly terrible, none of them really do themselves any favours to look distinguished or unique. Oh, except this one. I'm moving on now. In my search for Minecraft parodies made between May 17th, 2009 and August 19th, 2011, I'm surprised to report that there isn't a single Minecraft parody video that does more than the bare minimum of relying on in-game footage and comped-in 3D renders to separate itself from the standard Minecraft gameplay. Not a single one. So, with the aid of Bootstrap Buckaroo, CaptainSparklez quite literally pioneered the visual style of Minecraft animations, or at least modern ones. Now that's a whole nother topic for another day, but I think it would be pretty interesting to go into the history of Jordan's influence on the community and all that, how his music videos evolved, and if this video does well, I'd be up for delving into that. I may already have a script going for that video actually. Just, I don't know, make sure you share the video or something. And subscribe to my second channel, man, I need that exposure. Anyway, Revenge's visual style. Now I'd argue that most people compare Revenge's visual style to Fallen Kingdom in terms of looking with similarities. It's certainly a much smaller step from Revenge's limited blocky movements to Fallen Kingdom's slightly more malleable blocky movements, than from something like Fallen Kingdom to the real squash and stretch of Take Back the Night. But Revenge is way more distinct than either of them. Comparing Revenge directly to Take Back the Night, the similarities are definitely evident. For example, it's hard not to mention how... What? Differences. I'm a retard. Comparing Revenge to Take Back the Night, the differences are night and day. For example, it's hard not to mention how strangely human the mouth looks. It's kind of out of place, sure, but it does weirdly work. I get it, it's to make the characters look more expressive, have them able to pull more cartoony faces while keeping it simple. But I think the cartoon look was definitely nailed down in Turn It Up, where the facial animations are more or less totally flat with the rest of the face, more reminiscent of traditional 3D animation. But let's not forget, this all stems from that simple jolty character rig that was present in Revenge. And for those of you who don't know what a character rig is, it's a character that's able to be moved around and animated and the likes. A character on its own is useless, it's garbage, it's dead weight. You've got to give it bones or a rig to make it work. Gomotion fact of the day. Now, while the differences between the visual presentation in Revenge and Turn It Up are pretty monumental, I'll fully admit, there's a lot of charm to the way Revenge was animated, even if it's not technically impressive. In many ways, Revenge was a precursor to Turn It Up, in the sense that they both try to emphasize the fact that, well, you're dealing with fictional cartoon characters, and that they should be treated as such, an aspect that usually goes totally unrecognized when it comes to Minecraft animations. In Revenge's case, was it just due to the limitations of the character at the time that indirectly spawned a more quirky looking character? Yeah, probably. But there are still a few intentional design choices here that I'm really fond of that define this cartoon caricature. Now we only have 4 minutes and 24 seconds of footage to work with here, so there's not a ton we can pull from this, but there are small details like the way Steve's head bounces in response to the creeper, how exaggerated his facial expressions get at points. Even the fact that his legs don't bend give the impression that he's made to feel like an animated kid's toy, like a Lego minifigure or something. It all culminates into giving this no-name character quite a bit of character for a Minecraft parody song. There is one other limitation of the character rig he used though. It is surely the most gruesome element of Revenge. Yeah, this is very primitive Minecraft models. The hands have physically separate meshes. I never noticed this until recently. Well, I say that, but the official Revenge remix uploaded in October of the following year has a very obvious shot where you see it, but I don't know, I probably repressed it out of fear or something. The fact that the model was built this way meant that you kind of had to animate any arm bends moving real quick, so people would have a hard time noticing what was going on. But again, that indirectly fed into the concept of a bouncy cartoon character. If not bouncy, then at least simplistic feeling, like you could actually imagine something like this implemented into the game. No, it actually was. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, Telltale's Minecraft thing that I forget the name of draws almost direct inspiration from Revenge and the kind of visual direction it has. I'm not going to get into the similarities now, but hey, support this video and I'll make that video follow-up. Yeah. The hand gestures are also very similarly animated. Just like the faceplates, they're swapped out instead of having individually rigged fingers like in Fallen Kingdom, and that further strengthens that simplistic, blocky style that again just works in Revenge's favour. I'd say this visual style, if anything, certainly pushes aside the stoic looking characters of previous animated Minecraft parodies, and honestly, for Revenge being the first of its kind to do this, it does a real good job of portraying what it wants to go for. It's easy to tell that simplicity was the theme here. There are only 2 sets, 2 characters, 1 creeper model. Everything was whittled down to the bare essentials, but because Revenge pioneers this entire visual style and set the bar while it was at it, it's really not a big problem. Well, I say that, but there's one minor issue with Revenge that really doesn't matter unless you pay close attention to it. Jordan was very lazy with building the Revenge set, his words not mine.
Take a quick overview of the entire set, which is a complete and utter mess, because I was really lazy in some of the things that I did as far as not naming and grouping things.
And as a result, you must have just been duplicating chunks of lands, because in an attempt to recreate the Revenge set for my recent remix, you should go check that out. I kept finding myself stuck after running into countless half blocks. What do you mean, slabs? No, I mean actual halfway horizontal chunks of land. A minor annoyance, yeah, but come on, man. Before I talk about music production, first we gotta take a brief detour into the world of Bootstrap Buckaroo. This man, David, is the true pioneer of Minecraft animations. He's posted many experimental Minecraft animations to both his personal channel and collaborative project channel Dig Build Live. Unfortunately, a lot of the older ones are lost to time and only a handful remain these days, though a lot of his early Minecraft renders do still exist, with the precursor to the Revenge characters existing in David's earliest render from November of 2010. And can I just say, yeah, that's pretty damn good. If it weren't for this guy, we likely wouldn't have the Revenge we know and love today. In the behind the scenes video of Revenge, Jordan talks about an early version of Revenge being made in the same style as TNT.
Another example is on when I was starting on Revenge, I was trying to use Blender for it, and in retrospect, had I continued on that path, Revenge would not have been all that good. So I scrapped what I had made in Blender and we started over.
And while TNT is nowhere near bad, there's nothing exclusively good about it, you know. It's got that nostalgia factor, but not much else. I tell you to subscribe to his channel, but most of his videos are gone, so I don't know, follow him on Twitter or something. Also follow me on Twitter. Cheers. If we're talking music production, then the instrumental is definitely different, but it's been changed by the producer Doc X for the better. In Usher's original song, well, it takes place in a club. The synths are harsher to fit a club environment, the beat is more pronounced, and it works well alongside his vocals. It's a dance pop track, and it was produced to fit that vibe. It's to be expected. That's the original. Revenge's instrumental is less intense, but that doesn't make it sound any worse. Combined with the note block recreation of the original song, it's obvious that it's meant to fit a more lighthearted scenario, which works well for a Minecraft song. Most people are going to be listening to Revenge through a pair of headphones too, not in a club or over the radio. So while, like I said, Revenge doesn't have that intense pop vibe, it does include more reverb and effects because that makes up for the fact that you're not going into it expecting a finely tuned industry-produced pop piece, rather a Minecraft tribute that has more freedom to sound how it wants. And again, the instrumental this time is further suited for TryHardNinja's vocals, focusing more on texture than in the original. Most industry pop songs will focus on vocals as the standout aspect. After all, while they are not always written by the artist, that'll be how the song is credited, under their name, so of course you want to feature their vocals as much as possible. That being said, TryHardNinja's vocals aren't as prominently featured as Usher's, but the overall texture makes up for it. Basically what I mean to say is, in comparison to one another, where Usher's instrumental lacks punch, the vocals make up for it. And in Revenge, where the instrumental feels fuller, TryHardNinja's vocals don't need to sound as intense. Also wanted to mention that the way the standalone note block instrumental is implemented to make up for the lack of an instrumental during the rap segment during the original song is pretty cool. And of course, that just further emphasizes CaptainSparklez' incredible rapping abilities. That's my analysis on that. Everything I've talked about that was changed from the original could have literally just been to make Revenge sound slightly different, and in which case, it's possible, but I stand by the theory that there are probably intentional design choices behind why Revenge sounds the way it does. Also, my apologies if I've made any error in my wording here. I know how to make a music, but I'm still not fully versed into the world of the technicalities. I am literally taking a college course on music technology though, I should know better. So, given all these points, how does Revenge fare in comparison to the rest of the Minecraft parody songs out at the time? Well, we have a team consisting of a professional Maya user, a songwriter/vocalist with access to a professional music producer to near perfectly recreate the instrumental of the pop song in question, and a lead director/animator with prior experience in the fields, all from Minecraft parody song in 2011. Yeah, they definitely had a good shot at producing a final product that would appease the masses, and there we go. I think even if Revenge doesn't hold up as well today as it did 8 years ago, it was definitely the stepping stone the community needed to look at and say, hey, everything I make sucks, my wife divorced me, the kids are gone, my dog has E. coli, but none of that matters because I gotta get on that parody grind, man. There's a reason people still have attachment to the song. Is it visually impressive? Not really. On the other hand, the music production has hardly aged, but with the oversaturation of music, both professional and less so on YouTube these days, it's hard to appreciate that aspect. Like I said, it's down to how older fans remember Revenge as something that had not really ever been done before at the time. Minecraft wasn't exactly in its primitive days, but with the amount of effort that went into Revenge at the time with no point of reference or comparison to make to anyone else's work, it could have gone totally different, but it was posted at pretty much just the right time to make an impactful stand in the YouTube space, and especially on a game that nobody knew if it was going to stick around for long or not. It was a risky move, but I think it panned out eventually. Yeah. Now, if I could request one thing out of all of this, I don't know if it would ever happen, but with the Minecraft resurgence, it would be really cool to see a fully remastered version of Revenge. I'm talking about the visuals, not the audio portion here. Maybe aside from Jordan's rapping segment. But on the visual side, yeah, it's got that polish, got all that ambient occlusion, but I'd really want to see Revenge redone to the production level of Turn It Up. Like I mentioned, stuff like the weird way the environment looks with the vertical half blocks and the outdated character and creeper models, I think all of that could do with an overhaul to make it look way more modern and up to date with today's standards. Now, I'm not saying make it look exactly like Turn It Up, keep the original textures of course, but at the level of production that video has, and it would be worth seeing the outcome of that. I don't know how intensive remaking Revenge would be, as everything would likely be remade from the ground up, but the groundwork's already been laid out, even if it's not a shot-for-shot recreation, so maybe as a 10-year anniversary special it would work? Maybe? I don't know. Well, in conclusion, I just spent 10, 15 or maybe even 20 minutes severely overanalyzing a Minecraft parody from 2011. Huh.